Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some more Let's Read Higurashi. So we are here with the second game. I guess you could call it game chapter, whatever you want to call it, right? This is Watanagashi, right? So if things look a bit different from last time, I did have to totally like remake this whole setup with my new computer, but it means that we have access to the motion tracking. It's a stronger PC. Everything should be good to go, right? Like we shouldn't have any issues. I'm just adjusting. You can see me adjusting my headset. That's crazy. We should be good to go, but things might look a little bit different. But otherwise, we're back with some more of this game, which I've been greatly anticipating returning to after last time was such a good little mystery. And I mean, there's so many more chapters, so we're gonna have to continue learning about the mystery and see where it goes from here and whether my ideas are right or wrong. I'm still feeling like out of all the theories that I'm kind of feeling, something about the idea of the medical village really it feels like all okay. I'm going to be honest. Part of that is like, have I heard that there before? Have I heard that that's the big twist? Did someone comment on like a Final Fantasy part saying it? I don't know. But that could also just be entirely made up by me. I I don't know. So we'll have to see. But otherwise, as usual, I do watch the opening movies because so I'm on the side of anyone who says don't watch the opening movies, it's full of spoilers. You fail to grasp that I don't understand what it's going to be until then. So it's only spoilers if you know it's spoilers. So as such, I'm going to watch it. Yes, enable the opening, please. The seventh expansion. MangaGamer.com. Oh, by the way, it's time for those sprites. I gotta give them a fair shake. We're gonna be checking out the Manga Gamer sprites. The soundtrack, we're gonna be listening to the soundtrack, which is because there's one of the soundtracks which stops being like applicable once you get past chapters, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna go with that soundtrack so we can actually give that a listen there. But otherwise, here we are. Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2, Watanagashi. Let's start with the config. Make sure we're all good here. Text box opacity, voice. Put that up a little bit more because that's the most important one. All that should be good. We're doing the remake ones, I think. Yes. And all that's there. Mods, just to show. We're going to be sticking with 2. This is the recommended one, and it seemed to be the best one. Graphic wise, we are using the Manga Gamer ones. I'm real curious about how it's gonna look. Lip sync doesn't work for it. We're gonna put on CGs, sprites, everything's Manga Gamer, console BGs, no background stretching, right? So then we're gonna keep the aspect ratio without stretching. We're gonna see how that works. It's probably just gonna zoom in a bit. NVL mode, as usual. I much prefer the novel mode. And we're gonna stick to 4x3. It's you should use this with the other one. They should all work. It's not well tested. I'm mostly doing the 4x3 because it works better for this here. So, all right. With that said, it's time to see why do they cry? Watanagashi. What the frick? Where are we? Watanagashi, the most possibilities. Cotton drifting chapter. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? A curse or conspiracy? I believe you have fully enjoyed everything and everyone's seeming suspicious. Boy, are they! Here at last. It is no surprise attack, but a real direct incident. Please enjoy it. Okay. The difficulty is lower than Onikakushi, but extremely vicious. Though, just the way they talk about it with, like, the difficulty is so interesting every time I see that. Okay. Ah, there's more laughing children. My favorite. I will quench your thirst, for you seek the truth and could not accept it. I will not quench your thirst, for the truth you desire does not exist, but I still want to quench your thirst, for I am the one who will cast you into the desert. Frederica Berncastel, and then that was actual gibberish under there. Also, it's not real. But what if it isn't? 1983, 58th year of the Showa era. 50. Okay, so yeah, we're back in time. Oh, this is a very different sounding song. Also, if it's muted, then it had to be taken away. Ooh, okay, wait, jams? Wait, jams? Oh man, okay. Yeah, let's go. That's good. Okay, that's... Okay, this is interesting. Who's that? Is that us? Okay. Okay, we saw that CG there. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like it's mostly the same characters. Oh, surprise, she has a sister. I knew that already. That I knew she had a sister. That was a non-spoiler for me. Oh, it's the mysterious blonde lady whose name I forgot. Okay. Feet! Okay, that was like the person behind you. So that's like the curse, I guess. I'm seeing people I don't recognize. Who the heck are you? Who the heck are you? Oh, okay, there's a ton of new characters. What the heck? Who are you? Okay, I didn't know we'd actually be getting a... I don't know, for some reason I thought the cast would stay small with maybe adding like one person. But there was a lot there. And no spoilers besides the sister, which I knew about. Yo, this song rules though. Like, who are you? Big creepy smile. Yeah, no, I feel like I got even less from that than the first one, which is good. Like again, the only thing I did know was about that I knew Mion had a sister, and that is just because of, you know, the osmosis of pop culture, seeing the two of them together. Again, there's like one person who's basically been drawing doujins of Mion for like every year since this game came out. And, you know, it's a little hard to not see. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Huh? Wasn't today Sunday? This is a different house. This is a different house. Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep, back to sleep. So, who are we? I feel like we're going to be the guy who got taken away at first. Wait. Never mind. What the frick? What? At that moment, the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call? I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. What the? Wait, what, Keiichi? Wait. What if this is the same house and I just don't recognize it because of the background? Wait a sec. Change art styles, P. Well, that's for the only, okay, let's just see here. Background style. It is the original. Oh no. Oh, we're gonna get got with that, huh? Okay, well that's fine. We'll learn. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Well, we'll get to see. He's awake. I'll put him on right now, my mother informed the person on the other end of the line. Oh my god, it is us. What? So wait a sec. Wait. What year was the first game in? Am I confused? I thought it was later than 83. Was it? Wait. Wait. I need to what year does Higurashi the first one take place? Onikakushi. Onikakushi take place? All right. This one is, it is not, okay, it is 1983. For some reason, I thought this was further in the past. I was confused there. So no, this is the year of it, but what are we doing? What are we doing? Also, we're hearing again the new music here. So I guess I should say, my basic plan is I'm going to give them all a shot. If there's multiple that I'm okay with, I'll go between them. But there's a high chance that I stick with one by the end. And it may just be the original. But we'll see. It was 11 o'clock. I guess you could loosely consider that the middle of the day. That's not what she said, but okay. Okay, that's kind of funny. Changing her saying good morning into Ohio. That's quirky. I like when they do that and they switch it to like French. What? That's extremely confusing. Ni hao? That's it. That's all I got. Actually, well, no, it's not even ni hao, because that's hello. I don't know what it is in either of those languages. Hey, see? We're wrong together! That is correct. Yeah. Oh, is it dos vidanya? I mean, I've heard that, but I don't know if that's what it is. This is extremely confusing. Everybody? Did she mean all the club members? Wait. That's not what the club was. That's interesting. I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have? Oh, we got a bike. Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense. A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. That uncompromising poker match. Wait, well, that is a game. Okay. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead or who was last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won by only one chip. Mion came second. It's gonna be a while to get used to some of these sprites. Damn it, to think if I hadn't squandered that one chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anybody over a close loss. So, did she mean for today to be a grudge match? After that, we exchanged jeers for a bit before hanging up the phone. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon down. Why are you carrying... Why is she carrying a futon down? You know, the place where we, like, fought and stuff? Huh. Right? Because then, like, we fought. Oh, I don't know. In my brain, this was like, oh, this will take place before. But now I'm like, but does it? I don't know. We'll have to see.
そんなとこ、俺、みんなと街に遊びに行ってくるから。
行ってらっしゃい。車に気をつけるのよ。
Now, I'm not going to call not Schrodinger, but Chekhov's traffic here, but in my brain, I hear this and I'm like, you wouldn't bring that up well, no, but then again, we did just run into we did have the one vehicle nearly hit us.
夕飯までには帰ってくるのよ。
Hey, hey, ちゃんと帰ってくるって。
My brain's going crazy thinking about all the ways things could go horribly wrong. Well, that looks like roughly the same house. After unlocking the chain from my bike in the garage, I reveled a bit in the resistance the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. All right, let's go. I set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. Oh boy, these sprites, huh? Where's your gun? You look so much better with a gun.
ああ、待たせたな。あれ、貞子とリカちゃんは？
あの二人はここで待ち合わせるより直接街で合流した方が早いよ。
Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Satoko and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side past the school.
そうそう。街で部活ってどういうことだよ。まさかみんなで覆面をして日が暮れるまでにいくつ銀行が襲えるかっていうのじゃねえだろうな。
Not much else to do in a small town.
別にそれでもいいけど、それでも私は負けないけどね。
みーちゃんってね、なぜか現金輸送車の順路とか時間とかをいつもレナに教えてくれるんだよ。
That's funny. That's funny.
なんでだろうね。
What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of that.
マジかよ、ミオン。
Oh, so everyone else can you can make jokes, but everyone else can't.
何言ってんの？みーちゃんごめんね。みーちゃんごめんね。
Two of them jorked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today, where hopefully I don't get stabbed like before.
おい、二人とも、貞子とリカちゃんが先に待ってるんだろ。じゃれてないで早く行こうぜ。
Around and around, fooling around like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could keep watching them like this. But the five of us would be absolutely more fun.
そうだね。じゃあ行こうか。
目標は10億強奪。山分けしたらみんなで高飛びだぜ。
I'll say one thing. And like in general, I'd say like the voice acting has improved this game. I wonder if you played this without the voice acting, would this increase the mystery? Because if you can't hear his voice, you don't fully know, like, is this the Keiichi we know? But because it's the same voice actor, you know, it's sort of like, well, it's probably not. So, or well, it probably is the same one. But if you didn't, I'd be more like, I don't think it is. At least personally. It's kind of how I feel. The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. Is it just me, or does the town look, like, different? But I don't know if that's the art style change or not. The view expanded as Okonomiya Station came into view. I occasionally come to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here, though, it was quite a hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okonomiya itself for that matter. The street we headed down today was, of course, unfamiliar to me as well. Ah, it's a different street then. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is definitely a new area. Oh, yo! Okay, hold up, wait. 1983, right? Right, so 1983... I did this gag already where I looked up 1983 video games. But let's see, what else can we play? We could play Sinistar. Oh, we can play Sinistar. I love Sinistar. Run, I hunger. Right? We could play Mappy. We could play Pack and Pal. We could play Bomberman, Libble Rabble. Good stuff.
みーちゃんが詳しいよ。
ゲーセンもあるのか。俺前は結構通ってたからな。
I wonder, like, I legitimately wonder what was popular at this
ゲー
time.
マーの血がうずくぜ。
Royals?
ゲーセン通いなんてケイちゃん不良だね。
It's so funny that, like, you know, you play these games and you hear that, like, oh, you're going to the arcade, what a delinquent. And it's like, well, what makes you a delinquent in, you know, North America? You know, stabbing people.
今度来た時に案内してあげるよ。結構台数を揃えたいい店があるから。
Do they got coin pushers? Because I'm kind of feeling like a coin pusher right now. Seemed like the town of Okonomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Yo, look at this little store. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. Is this a little Dagashi place? I love it. Was this the arcade? No, it was a smaller shop. Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, well, they were doing almost too well for themselves.
ひょっとしてあの店で今日何かイベントでもあるのか。
その通り。
Oh?
優勝賞金は5万円。
Yo, a solid 500?
5万円？なんだよそれ。
Yo, that's not bad at all.
ケイチ王国の5年分の GNP に匹敵するぞ。
Okay, wait, that's really funny. Wait, that's a good line. I like that. Two cute figures messing about the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands. There they are. Can I just say, like, I'll say, other than the fact that Satoko's eyes seem to be literally glowing, I think she looks okay, but something about Rika's droopy face really gives big, like, Oni-chan am I cute energy, and I don't mean that in a positive way.
お待ちしてましたよ。
Like, it reminds me of that one picture where it's like, oh, you know, am I cute? And then it says, oh yeah, this is from a show where a guy has to, like, you know, what was it? It was, he has to ejaculate every day or he loses the house. And then someone said, is this the episode where he loses the house? That's what this reminds me of. Just like this, like, you know, like a bug-eyed, droopy, you know, the horrible caricature of an anime girl that, like, your art teacher puts up as an example of what's not allowed in the art class. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
おはようございますなのです。
おはようリカちゃん。さとこ、警察が来る前にケリをつけるぞ。目標は10億強奪だ。
ケイチさんの話がわか
Yeah,
りませんわ。
you can't jump in on inside jokes halfway through.
遅くなったかな。リカちゃんたちは今来たの？今日は早く終わったのでだいぶ待ってましたですよ。
そりゃあ悪いことした。こっちはケイちゃんがなかなか来なくてさ。
Sorry, I'm trying to put together what's going on.
ケイチでは仕方ありませんですよ。
Saying that, Rika stretched up and began patting Mion's head. Hey, wait a minute! Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy?
もちろん。
Oh, you look nefarious with this sprite.
ケイチさんでなくては務まらない大役でしたよ。
実に嫌な大役だ。
Yeah, you know what? You don't have the same gremlin energy.
こんなので丸く収まると思ったら大間違いだぞ。
I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began repeatedly to smack on Satoko on the head. Smack, 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 smack. Just imagining just like hurrah-rah-rah-rah-rah-rah-rah-rah. Get dunked on, child.
ケイチさんがぶった。
Wow, you're like a million times more annoying when you're this sprite. You're way more endearing when you're a little gremlin.
ケイチにいじめられてかわいそうですよ。さとこちゃん
That's a good face, though. That's a good face.
お持ち帰り。 げるからね。
Oh, good heavens. Rena ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Satoko's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Yeah, this is fine.
やっぱりこれが正しい丸い収め方だよな。
前歯が欠ける前に新しいオチを探した方がいいと思うけど
Get
ね。
it? Punchline. That's the joke. Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. Look at this store. Look at all this. That's straight up Animal Crossing figures there. That's crazy. Got a giant robot. Okay, no, but I gotta see the original background. Is there gonna be straight up copyright material? That's how we know it's good. Original. Damn. That's unparsable. Yeah, I think I prefer... Actually, I think I prefer the new one, just because there's so many little Easter eggs. I won't do that too much, though. Don't worry about it. Inside the toy shop, there are about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently, they all knew Mion. Finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers a few at a time. Wait, huh?
みーちゃんはこのおもちゃ屋さんの常連なの。だから友達もすっごく多いの。
おもちゃ屋の常連って
Yeah, what's up with
何
that?
だ？
ほら、ケイチさん。奥をご覧なさいませ。
I swear, if we go back and there she is holding like a Beyblade, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm the champion." Following Satoko's prompting, I took a look. I like how they're just advertising guns. There were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. I realized it immediately.
まさかこれって部活の会場なのか？
Okay.
驚いたかい、ケイちゃん。私この店のおじさんと仲良しでね。たまに客寄せイベントってことで、ゲーム大会を開かせても
Well,
らってる
yeah,
んだ
of
よ。
course they'd like you here. You're literally the game person. Expand his customer base. I see. Meaning, all the boys lining up the place were participants.
そうなの。いつもは5人だけど、今日はもっともっと大勢での部活なんだよ。
Rena was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern.
ケイチさんの考えてること手に取るように分かりましたよ。
ほう、じゃあ試しに行ってみようか。言うぞ。せーの。
These are all enemies! Satoko's voice and mine blended together in harmony. We looked over at the participants. After all, the top prize was 500,000 yen. Sorry, numbers hard. 50,000 yen. My eyes lit up like a flame.
ね、ケイちゃん、今日は楽しめそうでしょ。
まあな、ライバルが何人増えようが狙うものに変わりはないさ。
ライバル？はあ、ケイちゃん、クジラが水を飲むとき、今飲んだ水の中に何匹シラスが混じっていたか、
Okay,
いちいち数えてると思う？
you hit us with the Dio bread quote, but changed it up to a fish thing? Damn. Damn. You're getting on my good side real fast. She said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Mion. She's as serious as she can get
本
today.
気なのは私だけじゃないよ。ほら、リカちゃんを見てごらんよ。
Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me.
なんだありゃ。
Rika was using those kinds of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness. Sorry, what do you mean by those kinds of traits?
僕も頑張るのですよ。
Is she just acting cute?
ファイト、王なのです。
Oh yeah, no, that's what it is. Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika in a cheer. Okay, it's okay. The inside of the store had been consumed by the world of Rika-chan. Damn, she's already chomping at the bit.
今日は楽しくなりそうだね。頑張るよ。
How? Seemed that Rena was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. In Rena's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Alright. Do I need to play more fighting game jokes? Because I can. God, this music's good. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was the most threatening. Yo, that piano. What are we doing, Pokemon Coliseum? Yo, okay. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers she was acquainted with. It was business as usual with her. Of course. If anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind.
ミオンめ、恥も外聞も捨てるくらいに本気だな。
ケイチさん知らないんですの？賞金の5万円、ミオンさんの
Oh,
自腹でしてよ。
wait, is Mion loaded? What? She was putting out 500,000 yen all by herself? At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear.
ん？何？ケイちゃん。私の顔に何かついて
Okay,
る？
let's not use the horror effects when we're doing comedy time, please. A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, cornering herself like that. She was pulling out the demon lurking within her. Fine with me. Damn it. My knees are shaking like crazy. Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur and who was going to win.
最高の舞台じゃねえか。面白くなってきやがったぜ。
That is the most generic anime phrase ever. I think Luffy, Goku, and Naruto have said those exact words.
ケイチくん、頑張ろうね。
You're having a moment.
頑張ろうね。
Ren was already full charge. Mortal laws and common sense held no power before the might of Rena in her cute mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her if possible.
リカちゃん、頑張れ。
Wow, fan club immediately, huh?
はい、頑張りますですよ。
Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding things like that had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. But what are we playing?
一番戦いたくないのはミオンさんですけどね。
何度か部活で奴と視線をくぐったが、今日ほどヤバいと思う日はないぜ。
ミオンさん、一昨日のポーカーで負けたの相当根に持ってるみたいでしたよ。
らしいな。つまり今日はミオンの復讐のための特設舞台ってわけだ。
And what way to get revenge than by also getting revenge on the entire neighborhood? Wait, she's literally money matching us, I just kind of realized. Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eyes silently conveyed the message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion, both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, there'll be casualties. I wouldn't make these jokes so easily, buddy.
私とケイチさんがなんとなく置いてきぼりですわね。いかがでございましょう。なんでしたらスマートに
But what are we
初戦をお
playing?
手合わせ願いません
We
かし
still need to
ら。
know what we're playing.
そうしよっか。俺もエンジンがかかるまで鳴らしよし。
My spinal column shuddered, like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it, began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Even then, when Satoko was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask.
そんなに俺を初戦で消したいかよ。さっきが隠せてないぜ。
あら残念ですわね。ケイチさんにしてはなかなか慎重でしたよ。
Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Do they all want to win the 500,000... numbers! The 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this was just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish hot enough to melt any steel began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. What are we playing? What are we playing? Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were to split up into 5 groups via draw, and each group would have 1 winner. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final.
さて、各卓の競技方法なんだけど、これは各卓で好きに決めていい。
Oh, it's a free game tournament. Wait.
このお店にあるゲームなら何を使って
Oh,
も
whoa, that's
OK
actually super cool. Wait, that's cool. That's like a mystery game tournament for like speedrunning, but like board games. Already in club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed.
ミオン、質問いいか？みんな自分の得意ゲームを主張して決まらないんじゃな
Yeah,
いのか？
because then the groups won't agree.
はあ、そうだね。決まらないと始められないね。
Spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion.
紳士的に決めてほしいけど、そういう時は店のマスターが決めるっての
Oh,
がいい。
okay. It was an event in a toy store, after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to... Oh my god! The hustle! The hustle! Any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at? Oh my god, this is gonna make so much money. Oh, this is actually genius. Holy crap. A rather nice proposition for the store. Wait, that's so smart. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. All right, it's time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush them. At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye.
当然分かって
I'm trying to do
ると思うけ
Yugi,
ど
by the way.
部活メンバーには一般参加者とは別に罰ゲームがつくからね。
I'm fine with that.
そんなことだろうと思ったぜ。内容はなんだ？
勝者が敗者一人一人に1個命令。
Wait, maybe not. This could be really bad. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around in Hinamizawa and cat ears in a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't gonna let me off that easy. On top of that, this time it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty
敗
game.
者一人一人に命令。つまり
Yeah.
ビリでなくて
Oh
も
no.
罰ゲームってことだな。
そういうこと。
勝者がない場合は部活メンバーが全員途中で脱落したらお流れか？
Oh, yeah, she's like, that's not gonna
ケイ
happen.
ちゃん、
Okay.
脳みそは元気？
何？
The look in Mion's eyes became that of a lion bearing its fangs.
我が部の再生映画どう間違ったらこんなひよこども
Mewling？
負けるっての？ケイちゃん、初戦で消えて私に恥かかさないでよ。
Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would
聞い
become.
てろ。ただミオンにいじめられてたわけじゃないってことを見せてやるぜ。
会おうね。決勝で。
Wow. The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. All the members of the clubs, of course, right, were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was random? The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine, though. Crush all your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. Look at these random children! The competition at my table was these two, huh? They look younger than me. Huh?
あれお前ら
Oh,
学校のクラス
well
メー
that
トだよ
would
な
make sense.
あ、どうも、富田です。
Tomita?
彼は岡村です。
Okamura? Oh, I don't know about him. He is a bad dungeon. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky! Time to destroy them without mercy.
それぞれに対戦ゲームを決めて始めてちょうだい。
With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my two classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Is the store owner going to recommend only the most expensive games? Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good
悪
at.
いなどれも知らないゲームなんだもっと知名度の高いやつにしてくれ
Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, the table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damn shop owner. Yeah! Was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't
これなら
sell?
俺も知ってるよ二人も知ってるよなルーレットを回してゴールを目指す
Oh, it's the game of life.
最後に生産して一番お金を持ってるやつが
Oh,
勝
it's
ちだ
the game of life. The two nodded in agreement, and finally the game was underway. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until this game progressed a bit.
1,2,3,4出産祝いをもらう
It's literally game of life, oh my god.
全員から5000ドルもらう悪いね
Okay, I built quite a bit of a lead.
1,2,3,4,5,6,7,8と。
So, okay, did you hear that? Okay, just I'll let this play for a sec.
銀行から10万
Dang.
ドルもらう。
Okay, so give this a listen. This is an interesting quirk that I don't know if you heard here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1,2,3,4出
It's
産祝いをもらう
it's right.
全員から
It's
5000ドルもらう悪いね
it's ichni-san-shi. But what if we're doing past that?
1,2,3,4
Did you hear that?
5,6,7
It was
ボーナス
ichni-san-yon.
銀行から
So-
10万ドルもらう。
Numbers in foreign languages are weird because there's always like little rules that are confusing. If you know anything about French, you know the whole thing with like, in French, when you go past like 69 and you hit 70 and I don't have to get into that. But what I do want to say is, so you can either say she or yon, and it depends on the context. It's really interesting. Just an interesting thing. One point out. Anyways, what? The tables were turning in an instant.
1,2,3 出世コースに進む。
Oh, yeah? Well, that's a good route. Seemed like my only piece was landing on the steady spaces. Only my piece, rather. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out the board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I'd only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. Yep. Most board games are, buddy. There's something you gotta get used to. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in the first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was... what? They weren't doing anything? Are they still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she brought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. It couldn't be. She'd already finished. What game was it? That easily. It's probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, and their two opponents are already beyond recourse. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out what went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mion? And what about Rena's table? Spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. That's the one where, like, they say you grab a card and then you kind of grab it and then you grab it up, right? That's the one, right? Rena tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with the game? It's basically there's a bunch of cards on the table, they say a card, and you have to be the first to grab it.
じゃあ読みますよ。犬も歩けばくたびれる。
Okay. At the same instant, the shop owner began sounding out the words. The card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. Impossible. Where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. Do you think the cards are cute? Oh. Looking at the card Rena was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically. Oh. Wait, hold on, I kind of want this. It was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on a chain. So like, do they sell this? Do they sell this? Because, what I'm saying is, you know, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Just saying, you know, just, okay. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. If all the people play that game, it had to be Rena. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier.
決まったね。
Mihon smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back. Oh, wow, okay. After that, the second card started being read out. Bam! Bam! Such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Satoko? Oh, well, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Satoko's face, well, it seemed like she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. You memorize the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided.
北条悪いけど僕も優勝賞金を狙ってるんだ
Yo, who's this gamer?
悪く思うなよ
This guy. Did he have the locations of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed.
決まったな
It's over, bro. I whispered in that bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
そんな確かにここはパートのエー
Oh, got, right? This is crazy, actually, that we're doing all these games at once and just like seeing what they do with it. This is crazy because it is cool that they're all real games, so you know you can kind of play along. There was a commotion at Satoko's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. There's no way I must be seeing things. It must have been because I was excited. So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Satoko, then the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Satoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over.
あら、ケイチさんの勝負はまだつきませんの？センスないですわね。
With a refined tone of voice reserved for only winners, Satoko called out to me. For the casual observer, It must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been
やる
assigned.
じゃねえか。ハートのエースなんておしゃれな罠をかけやがって。
相手を仕留める罠はほんのちょっぴり。それも1個で十分ですのよ。
Satoko was a trapper. Thank you. You know what? Thank you for putting that PER there, because that could have been a big problem for my comments section. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough? Huh, ain't that cool? The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience at my own lack of progress. Alright, how was Rika-chan doing? How was our club's sly little fox doing? Well, what the heck is that? Over in the corner, the mood at the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know that like battery-powered fishing game? I know the exact one with the little mouths that open and close and you put the rod with the magnet. I know the exact one. Yeah, the one where they, yeah, oh my god, yeah, that exact one. The one where the fish open and close their mouths, they rotate on the platform and use the magnetic fishing rod to pick them up. That whole thing. You know, I know, like, it's crazy because I know the exact one. And I think what it comes down to is, like, a lot of games like this, like the board games and stuff, a lot of them were manufactured in Japan and brought over. So we'd get these, right? I mean, think about how, like, Pop-Up Pirate is, like, one of Takara Tomi's greatest successes. And, like, of course I knew Pop-Up Pirate. Everyone had Pop-Up Pirate. And I didn't know till later on, like, that's a thing straight from Japan, which is why it's in so many Japanese games. Seemed they planned on competing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive.
わあ、釣れましたですよ。
うまいうまい。
Oh my god, they're cheering her
リ
on.
カちゃんうまいよ。
Oh my god.
おっとっと、また釣られちゃったよ。リカちゃんはうまいな。
I knew that Rika had already charmed her opponents along with the onlookers before the match has even begun, but brilliantly played. The corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club.
リカちゃんの圧勝だよ。圧勝だよ。リカちゃん、お魚釣りうまいんだね。
リカちゃんが釣ってるのは多分魚じゃないと思うな。
And that's in the original term for trolling, by the way. Which, like, I remember my parents heard the word trolling, like, in regards to online stuff, and they're like, that's not a thing. And I'm like, it is. You know, they use it for the old style. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard.
リカにしかできない、リカだから許される大技ですわね。
Yeah! A masterful technique.
前原さんの番ですよ。
ああ、すまん。俺の番か。1、2、脱税の追徴か。
Aww. Go talk to Yoshi. He can help you out with that. Not like your classmate, the green dinosaur from Mario.
5万ドル支払う。
Dang. In contrast, my game. What an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing.
あれ、ケイチ君。
It's a game of luck.
かな。
What are we supposed to do? It's a game of luck.
岡村、あなた今いくらぐらい持ってますですの？
Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out of the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills.
98万ちょいくらいかな。
富田はどれくらいお金持ちですか？
僕は
We're gonna have
88
like
万ドル。
20,000.
まだまだ逆転できる位置だね。
Those two look like they could easily surpass $1 million.
で、ケイちゃんはいくら持ってんの？
Don't ask. Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as a club president.
仕方ねえだろ。このゲームルーレット回す以外に何も作戦がないんだぜ。イカ様があるとしたらなんだよ。2人に目をつぶって100数えてもらって、その隙にルーレットに細工でもするのか？そんなのできるわけねえだろ。
Rika-chan gently patted my head. Still, she wasn't too happy.
ブー様ですわね。一度は好敵手と思ったのに。 幻滅でしたよ。投げちゃダメだよ、ケイチコ。何か逆転があるはずだよ。頑張ろう。最後まで頑張ろう。
Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Can we cut a deal? Can we be like, guys, you're gonna lose if you go up against Mion in the final game, but we might win because we know her trick, so we'll give you like 100,000 each if you let us do it. Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a word.
おいミオ
It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself.
失望したよ。みんな本気なのに。ケイちゃんだけは本気になってくれなかったね。
本気ってなんだよ。気合でルーレットの目をコントロールしろってのかよ。そんなのできるかよ。
本気のケイちゃんならそのゲームでも開始10秒で蹴りをつけてたね。
みーちゃん、そんなに怒ることないよ。待ってよ。
Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it had become an awkward situation, but spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it! Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Are you saying if I were serious, I would have settled this game of chance in 10 seconds? If I were serious. If I were serious. Everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh.
ゲーム進めます？
Boy, those Higurashi must sure be loud to hear them in here. Two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence.
前原君は投了でいいかな。
I mean, I should say, now that I'm back in China and it's like summer, like I went outside and boy geez, did I hear cicadas, and boy geez was I reminded just how loud they are in real life. It is just like an alarm going off, right? And these ones don't make nice, like at least the rhythm of these, you know, Higurashi it's like rhythmic. Nah, the ones here just scream constantly. It's horrible. The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you! So how do you cheat? Do you just flip the table? Bamf! I clamp my hands on the shoulder. Oh my god, he's gonna bribe them. Clamp my hands on the shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer.
富田君、岡村君、取引しよ
Oh my god.
う。俺を勝たせろ。
The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused.
前原さん、暴力はなしですよ。ちゃんとゲームで勝敗を。
話は最後まで聞け。お前らの望みは何だ。優勝して5万円か。
そりゃそうですよ。
Yeah, that's big money for a kid.
5万なんて大金。
Yeah.
二度とないチャンスですよ。
仮に優勝したとして、お前らその5万で何をする？どんな楽しみ方をする？
Two of them considered it briefly.
新しいゲーム買うとか、
Yeah, that's the cost of one, you know, Neo Geo game.
お菓子とか、
That's a lot of snacks.
ジュースとか。
That's a lot of juice.
小せえ小せえ。バカかお前ら。
It's like, let me tell you, you're gonna want to put it into stocks, baby. You're gonna want to find this company. It's called Nintendo. You're gonna want to put stocks in that, okay? You're gonna want to put money in Apple. You're gonna want to put money in Fortnite, okay? You're gonna want to put the money down there. You're gonna say, well, what's the point of that? No, you're gonna do that because it's gonna be good later on. And then, when everything's all said and done, my body's freaking out a bit. Whoa. You're gonna put it into a company called HoloLive, okay? Once you get that, boom, you're set for life, kiddo.
じゃあ、前原さんが勝ったらどんな楽しみ方があるって言うんですか？
俺か？そこが本題だ。今から言うことを黙って聞け。
We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members
まず
around.
富田君君は
Whoa, I
里子萌えだよ
freaked out there. I just spun around. Also, whoa, are we revealing?
否定すんな
Yogu, bro?
そして岡村君君は理科萌えだな
Dang.
赤くなるな
I drew the two of them, red-faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said even closer.
美少女
Hold up, that's not what he said.
萌え
That's not what he said. Wait,
男の推薦男のロマン例えるなら永遠にたどり着けないエデンのその
so wait, is that in the original script, but then the voice acted script, they changed it from that word to Bishoujo? Oh.
だけど目指すんだろそれは俺たちのハートに熱い魂が燃えよと叫ぶからだ
I bet you that's a case where the script and the voice acting is different because of updates. That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more
俺
power.
が優勝したら富田君佐藤君を一日首輪付きで君の妹にしてあげよう
Oh my god. A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita-kun's nostrils.
そして岡村君君には猫耳リカちゃんに手綱をつけてお散歩させ
Okay,
てあげ
no,
よう
that's too far. No. That's way too far, buddy. That is too much. We gotta stop this. Why is my body freaking out? It's kind of weird. My body's like having a moment. Or are we literally just saying this to get them to lose via blood loss? Blood erupted from the vein in Okamura-kun's forehead, like Zangief.
そんなことそんな
うろたえるなお前たちは俺に無理やり付き合わされたことにすればいいんだ前原先輩のわがままの犠牲者なだけいやいやでいいんだよ分かってるお前たちの胸の内は全部分かってる
Then I suddenly lowered my tone of voice.
俺は灰色の学校生活を送ってきたそれがどんなにつまらなく人生の大切な時間を浪費したことになるのかだから後輩のお前たちにはそんな時間を過ごしてほしくないんだよ自分に素直になれ夢を追えそして叶えろ俺が叶えてやる
This voice actor goes so far in, it's so good.
俺がだ
It was this moment that the values of the men bridged generations. These guys are 2 years younger than you or something. This is not generations. Did I ever have a mentor who ever spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There was no way there was. That's because in a man's lifetime, he'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right this moment with these two.
じゃあいいな行くぞせーのゲーム終了
It was such an assertive declaration of the game's ending that everybody in the store turned and looked. It had been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeit, and all the spectators were certain of my loss.
圭一さんどうなりましたの勝敗は
俺の完全勝利だ
なんですってあの状況どうやってひっくり返しましたの
You don't want to know.
家庭なんか必要ないよな男と男の決着だよな
Oh, I mean, I guess.
ああみんな
The two of them, stifling tears of gratitude, answered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes as spectators all looked away from my utter disadvantage?
やったよ圭一くんわーい
The spectators were puzzled at how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation. But guys, he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something? It's a miracle! What devilry is this? He's in cahoots with that Mion, you know? There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve. I looked at the crowd who couldn't help but be excited out of the corner of my eye. Now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh.
これが俺の本気ってことだよ ミオ。
遅えっての。
Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most unsightly fashion.
じゃあこれで部活メンバーが全員1回戦突破ですわね。ということは今度はみんなで対決だね。対決だね。僕はもう賞金で買うものを決めていますです。もちろんですわ。ねえ。
Satoko and Rena smiled or sneered at each other. Huh, these guys. Do they really think they could win against Keiichi Maibara when he gets serious?
ミオ、失敗だったな。お前はさっき俺に助言すべきじゃなかったぜ。
That's your word of the day, isn't it?
ひよこが
Is there a reason you didn't finish it?
私に勝つなんて100万光年早いって。
I love that. I love that phrase.
ミオ、光年は距離の単位だ。
Wow, you're actually using it correctly. Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed.
どうするのみーちゃん。5人でどう戦うのかな。
さーて
Oh boy.
これだけ豪華な面々が揃ったんだからね。今日という日を急ぐのが惜しいよ。
みーの言ってる意味が難しいです。
まさかてめえ。
Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape as she turned her back to the table.
今日の勝負を部長園崎美音が預からせてもらうよ。勝負方法と日時は未定。ギャラリーは多い方がいいね。ひなみ沢も沖の
Wait,
すべての人間の目の前で
we're postponing the finals?
これ以上ないくらい徹底的な決着をつけてあげるよ。
逃げる気ですの。いくらみおさんでも卑怯ですことよ。
Again, what's with
ひ
the...
よこが
You just keep doing that one, huh?
生かされたことにまだ気づかんか。
The combative aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier, stopping Satoko's advance.
また会いましょう。せいぜい首でも洗っとくことね。
With shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy, Maibara, he's got some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant.
絶対優勝してくださいよ。おう、ミオンなんざ逆さにしてサンズの川に叩き込んでやるぜ。
Wait, that's a really good mental image. The part of the crowd that apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and myself erupted into a cheer again. Mion's going to win anyways. She's the undefeated empress. I'm betting on Mion. Nope's gonna be Ren with that ungodly speed. Satoko the trap artist. Rika the siren. It may be a long shot, but it'll be Maibara. However, right now, I had no ear for those cheerful voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that. I wasn't gonna forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off.
逃げるなミオン。部長なら逃げるな。俺と戦え。
ごめんケイちゃん。私これからバイト。
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Huh? Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slip in opposite directions, so I was doing the splits.
うん。ケイイチくんがゲームしてる間に
Oh,
み
I
ーちゃん
see.
に電話があったの。残念だね。
せっかく暑くなってきたのについてないよ。おじさんの店でさ、特売にお客が殺到してるらしくてさ、レジが足りないから助けてって電話があったんだよ。
おじさんってなんだ？スーパーの
Oh,
店長で
we're
もや
gonna
ってんの
act
か？
like we don't know? Or wait, no, we knew before. Didn't we? Weren't we told? That's interesting.
ささやかなお店だけどね。でもさ、特売やれば主婦が殺到するの常識で読めないのかね。
Nope, they're housewives.
店員足りないのに卵1パックを1人
Wait,
様1点
that's a different store then.
やるな。
Because wasn't it a clothing store before? Huh. I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store just a short time ago. More like a short time ago, am I right? Cause because the carton of eggs for 10 yen. And it's a short... Tamago. If you're watching this, you know you get the pun. You do, right? If not, why are you watching this? Boy, you picked the wrong YouTuber. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. That's right. Club mode was over now. But it was really heated today. It was really fun. Damn Mion, she really knows how to fire people up.
私こそ頭がジンジンしびれるくらい燃え上がったよ。
Please see a doctor.
特にケイちゃん、怖かった。あの場で本当に噛み殺されるんじゃないかって思ったね。
お仕事だから仕方ないけど本当に残念だね。この続き本当にやりたいですわね。いつがいいでございましょう。綿流しのお祭りでやるのなんていいですよ。
What? Huh? How?
綿流し祭五強爆闘か。
Yeah.
そうだね。考えておくかな。
When is that? Right now, what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi Festival? Cotton Drifting 5 Demon... What?
私、週刊漫画みたいないい加減なノリ
What
大
a...
好きなんだ。こんな痛快な部活が近いうちにまたできるといいね。
What? Now I'm even more confused. Which is the point, I'm sure. She laughed with a smile that you made. What? She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. Wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us?
今日はみんな本当にありがとう。おかげでイベントは大盛り上がりだったよ。
Yeah, we made everyone buy old, super expensive board games.
大したものじゃないけど、
Oh,
これ今日のおだちんに。
better not be mochi. I don't want to eat any mochi ever again.
あ、吉郎おじさん。私にはないの？おだちん。
あらあらあら、かわいいのが出てきましたわよ。
When Satoko and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there, it was cute little stuffed animals inside.
わあ、これかわいい。お持ち帰りしていいの？本当に？
ってことは俺のもかな。お、なんだかやたら可愛いのが
Oh,
出てきたぞ。
nice. Wait. Is this where we get the seal? Oh, it was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one you used to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Satoko was the same, and Rika-chan too?
ケイちゃんには一番似合わないのが出てきちゃったね。
なんつうのか、プリティっていうかキュートっていうか可愛いのは認めるんだが、着せ替え人形はちょっとな。
Buddy, you just got a one-up item to give to a girl, and like, she'll love it. You got a free item.
確実に明日からあれな趣味の人扱いだね。
That's fine, you don't need to use it for yourself. That's just a free gift item. Mion didn't have to go that far. This definitely wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering it, I gave it to Rena instead. Ah, CG, yeah. Oh, she hates that she's not being part of it.
くれるの？レナに？ありがとう。
方針のためだよ。レナにあげないと夜道が怖い。
違いない。
That's interesting. I wonder if you didn't have the CG art, would she have had that expression
ミオンに
still?
あげようかと思ったけど、ちょっと違うよな。
へへへへ。分かってるじゃない。私さ、どうして男に生まれなかったのかなって思う時あるよ。
Oh boy, the amount of discourse that could raise nowadays, like that's one line that nowadays people will read very, very deeply into.
女でよかったな。男だったらもうとっくに殺してる。
Dang.
今のうちに殺しといた方がいいよ。じゃないとケイちゃん死んで後悔することになるから。
Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with her.
来世では
Yeah,
神様に男にしてもら
all
える
the
よう
stuff
に頼
about
めよ。
killing has me kind of like,
俺も男にしてもらうから。
Thank you for capitalizing him.
そしたらケイちゃんと組んで軽く全国制覇から始めようかね。
Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, the shop owner told her meekly. A lot of us look like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things.
じゃあね。今日は最高に楽しかった。またねみんな。明日学校で。
バイト遅刻すんなよ。
Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting, and the breeze carried a hint of a chill.
もうちょっと街で遊んでいく？それとも帰るかな？暗くなると道が怖いですよ。では引き上げ時ですわね。今日は本当にいっぱい騒ぎましたわ。
そうだな。よっしゃ、帰ろうぜ。
The wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind. Plus, we're on bikes. Those are fun.
レナさん圧勝でございましたわね。
I love going for long bike rides.
レナがああなっちゃ悪いけど誰にも勝ち目はないな。
だってすごい可愛いカルタだったんだもの。ほら買っちゃったんだよ。はう。リカも相変わらずですわ。リカにかかれば男どもなんて赤子の手をひねるようなものですわね。楽勝だったのです。
She knows. Yeah, she knows that she can use that.
リカちゃんの行く末が実に怖いな。
さとこちゃんだってすごかったね。最後は大盛り上がりだったよ。褒められるようなゲームではありませんでしたよ。ケイイチも最後はとうとう牙を剥きましたです。
Sure, let's go with that.
まあな。俺は追い詰められてからが強い男なんだ。
富田さんたちなんだかすっごく応援してましたけど。
Don't worry about it.
何ですかしらね。
Don't worry about it.
富田と岡村に何か約束してましたです。きっと内緒話なのですよ。内緒話。なんだろうね。
I thought you would freak out about
戦いを通じてしか語り合えないものがあるんだよ。
because isn't a secret just a lie? Kind of. Not really. It's not. What am I saying? Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everyone continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents and reflected on how fun today was. As I wonder what the frick is going on.
夕日が綺麗でございますわよ。
Satoko, getting even more excited, pointed. Waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows of us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and comforting. How lovely. So it's interesting. I do like this music. I don't know if I like it in the context of the game as much, but I do like the compositions themselves, you know? Who's Mion's uncle? That's a good question, because she kind of seems to call everyone uncle. She's kind of like the village niece. Game Masters. That is just the icon from the Game of Life. You can't use that. That's super mega copyright. Okay. Yeah, Mion, what's up with your uncle?
ごめん。今日はさ、急におじさんの店のバイトが入っちゃってさ。
I do think this costume looks good in this sprite. I do think it looks good.
なんだじゃあ今日の部活はお流れってわけか。
いや申し訳ない。
Mion put her hands together in an apology and grinned.
そんなに部活がやりたかったら、おじさん抜きでやってもいいけど。部活ロッカーにゲームがいっぱい入ってるからさ。どれか適当に選んで。
Club Locker was a trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. I wonder so many freaking games can be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Besides those games, there was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects, costumes for punishment games. If we lined them up on the floor in order to sort them, well, they would definitely fill the entire classroom.
やめとく。俺がいじったらロッカーの中身がドサドサって溢れてきそうな気がするよ。
そうだね。素 人は手を出さない方が無難かもしれない。
Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that the only one who could do so was the club president.
みー、先生が体育倉庫の鍵を探してますですよ。心当たりはありませんですか？
あれ？私、職員室に返せなかったっけ？
Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket.
ほーら、やっぱりミオンさんですのよ。私、絶対そうだと確信してたでございますわ。僕も大正解なのですよ。さとこと一緒に大正解なのです。
Giggling, Satoko and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration.
やかましい。
Slap clap! Mion elbowed Satoko and Rika-chan in their heads. Wow, violence, then headed for the teacher's
あ、
lounge.
そうだ。二人とも聞いたか？今日はミオン、バイトがあるから部活はお休みだとさ。
あら、そうなんですの？それはつまらないでございますね。
Droll. Alright.
み
I like when she meeps. Why does she do that?
み
Why does she do that? Two of them made disappointed faces. Those are not disappointed faces. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the number one thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening today.
ミオンってバイトをやってるんだよな。あいつ一体何のバイトをしてるんだ？
Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2 or 3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. It sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job.
別に決まったお店でお勤めをしてるわけではないのです。
Oh my god, are we really getting the thing where it's is she literally everyone's niece? And it's not one shop, it's a bunch of uncles with a bunch of
決
shops?
まってないってことは、じゃあ日雇いってことなのか？
Mion wearing socks and helmets sweating to death in a factory. Couldn't imagine such a thing.
ミオンさんはおじさんの店にお休みが出たり
Uncles,
する
yep,
と
okay.
応援に駆けつける便利屋さんなんだ
So
そう
it
ですわ。
isn't just one uncle, there are a variety of uncles.
ああ、なるほどな。そういえばおじさんのとこでバイトなんて話、前にも聞いたことがあるような気がする。
お店を持ってるおじさんがいっぱいいるので、
Wow.
ミーは引っ張り
I
だこな
made
の
the
です。
joke, but it's real. She has lots of uncles who own shops? A lot of them.
あら、ケイイチさんはご存知ありませんの？沖宮にはミオンさんの親戚の方がやってる
Oh,
お
this
店って
isn't like a
結構いっぱいありますのよ。
this isn't like a family friend thing. They are actually her uncles.
へえ、それは知らなかった。そんなにいろいろあるのか？
パン屋さんとか八百屋さんとかラーメン屋さんとか他にもまだまだ
Wow.
あの部活をやったおもちゃ屋さんも
Oh, yeah, she did call him uncle. I was dumbfounded. That's
ミ
amazing.
オンの一族って何気に詳細があるんじゃないのか？それだけいろいろあるってのもなんだかすごいよな。
他にもサラ金屋さんとか地上げ屋さんとかイメクラ屋さんとかソープランド屋さんとか
Oh, no, she did say Soapland. Okay, that's interesting. I do find translating brothel, like Soapland for brothel, that's interesting. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I feel like there's connotations there. Then again, when this game was like first translated, I would say the concept of a Soapland wasn't as known in the West. Where now I'd say it's a bit more, mostly thanks to like Yakuza and stuff, right?
いろいろやってると言ってますです。
So she just works the cashier, right? Right? Okay, couple weird things came up that time, but still, I could tell it was pretty extensive.
あいつに小銭を借りると妙に返却期限にうるさいのはサラ金屋の血が流れてるからか。納得。
ミーにお買い物代を借りたことをころりと忘れてしまったら耳を揃えて返さんと身売りして風呂に沈めたるどとすごまれましたのです。
Oh. Rika-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Ah, crap. No! Be normal!
お風呂に沈められて溺れ死ぬなんてお前
That's-
たちにも程がありますわね。
That's not what we mean. Oh, you're so innocent. Huh? She doesn't really get it, does she? Recently, she seems so unspoiled. Rika-chan and I gave her a pat on the head.
なぜ撫でられるんです
Yeah, you're very wrong.
さとこはいい子さんですから
Yeah.
なでなでなのです
Satoko was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand that she was being made fun of. Okay, you know, I didn't expect a lot of this. There was things I expected, but not this, you know. Well. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I don't get it. But I feel like that's the appeal, right? We're gonna learn. What happened last time? Why is Watanagashi happening again? It's the same year, but there's another Watanagashi? Right? But like, there's so much that's confusing. And I just feel like that's part of the charm, which I'm excited to unravel as we continue on. So, thank you all for watching some more of my Let's Play of Higurashi, and I will see you guys next time where we move on to Chapter 2. So, bye guys! Yo.